Do we need to get tougher when it comes to sanctions, Senator?
Oh, yes, indeed. We need to be tougher. With economic sanctions, there should be sanctions on Nord Stream 2. And you have to increase these sanctions. You have to make certain that our allies and our partners are not buying oil and fuel from Russia. That is going to be an imperative. And go back and put those sanctions on Nord Stream 2. What would send the fastest message? Putting sanctions back on Nord Stream and saying, we're not going to let you do this.
But some say that wasn't even a revenue source to begin with. The gas wasn't even currently flowing. Are you saying Nord Stream or Nord Stream 2? Because that was not money in Putin's pocket to begin with.
Well, Sandra, what it does is to provide certainty as to where we're going to be. And that is vitally important to do.
It provides certainty? What an idiot. That is Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn, Republican, trying to backpedal after being corrected on Fox News, which pointed out that no, the Nord Stream 2 pipeline has never existed. It has never carried any gasoline through it. Therefore, there shouldn't be any sanctions on it because there's nothing there to sanction. This is basic stuff.
The way that Putin is able to finance this war is because you've got France and Germany and other EU countries that are still buying oil and gas from Russia.
The pipeline was a project for many years. It cost $11 billion to build, but last fall, Germany refused to certify it. And then when Russia invaded Ukraine, Germany essentially killed the project. So again, it has never carried any fossil fuels from Russia to Germany. So when Marsha Blackburn talks about sanctions, she's not making any sense. And oh, by the way, the European Union has already cut back on its oil dependence on Russia by 2/3 this year alone. And the European Union has pledged to eliminate all fossil fuel imports from Russia by the end of the decade. Marsha Blackburn simply has no idea what she's talking about. And this is something basic. And when you're corrected by Fox News, that's really embarrassing.
This really is a matter of due process. And I'm wondering, why make that link between Judge Jackson and the Nazis and the Nuremberg trial?
So, John, when she was in the Federal Public Defender's Office, she said that she was assigned 4 cases involving terrorists. But one of those cases she continued to represent when she was in private practice and could choose her own clients. She took on 2 more matters in which she signed friends of the court briefs in which she was advocating on behalf of Guantanamo terrorists. So that is 3 cases in which she voluntarily advocated for the terrorists at Guantanamo Bay, in which she accused American soldiers of committing war crimes. I frankly have no patience for it.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And what's more sickening than seeing quack partisan politicians like Tom Cotton try to one-up nutcases like Marjorie Trainwreck Green and Madison Cawthorn in a game of who can put up the most ridiculous sound bites so they've got clickbait to save their failing campaign prospects?
You don't think it was a bridge too far to make the link with Nuremberg and Nazis?
No, John, again, in 3 separate cases, she was representing not American citizens charged with a crime entitled to due process under our Constitution, foreign terrorists who had committed acts of violence against Americans.
Because that's the game of these far-right freak shows, and Tom Cotton's latest whining is all it amounts to. Cotton unleashed a ridiculous caricature of an attack against Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, and of course he has to invoke parallels to Nazi Germany, where of course no parallels exist whatsoever. But the far right are nothing short of full-out drama queens. Remember Bill Barr equating having to wear a mask in public to slavery? And of course Trainwreck Green is still a fugitive in the eyes of the dreaded gazpacho police. They are all happy to shed some crocodile tears if that's what it takes to endear themselves to their imbecile voter base. That's a shameless politician right there. Somebody that has no interest in working with people, no interest in solving problems, no interest in advancing the needs of the country as a whole. It's somebody that wants to get their miserable behind in office another term and plays the card to build themselves a brand, build awareness, and put out clickbait for the mindless MAGA morons. That's why we have an incompetent TV and social media darlings in the Republican Party. Their voter base never looks at an issue, a bill, or a proposal. They simply latch on to whoever pushes their emotional buttons because they don't think with the rational part of their brain. Maybe they don't have a rational part of the brain, or a brain at all for that matter. They go on emotion. They see Tom Cotton making absurd parallels to Nazis and then they get scared. Without thinking if he has any point or not, they run blindly into his corner. And for that, Tom Cotton's checkbook thanks you morons. People, this is becoming the format for the modern Republican campaign. Say the loudest, most vulgar, absurd, and profane words and stand back and rake in all the clicks and 15 minutes of fame. Even terrible coverage is coverage because with Republicans, terrible is an attractive quality to their base of domestic terrorists and insurrectionists.